What's going on YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. And what we're going to do is start out with Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame. Right now we're at $6,360. We're up 8.22%. And what we're looking at here is if this is a true move that we're having, because we have to pay attention. Remember, we had this trend line break and we had a strong break to the downside as we continued. Now what's happening is we tried to find support, and that was right off the area we were looking at yesterday, about $5,800. And since then we've gotten a nice little move back up above, we'll call it about $6,300. And with that move, that was significant. But what we need to see now is for us to have support off of that $6,300 area. So right here, right now, we need to find support and then make that next move up. For me, I'm not convinced, and I would not want to be buying Bitcoin until we break out hard from around that $6,800 range. And what I want to see us even do is back test that, find support off $6,800 to $7,000, and then make our next move to the upside. Because right now, guys, this is an ugly chart. If you really zoom out and you take a look at this, we had our trend line break. You can see this top that we had where we made it to about $7,000. Here we fought back and forth with it from roughly, we'll call it March 24th all the way till we broke to the downside March 28th. So up here we had many chances to where we could have followed this trend line and made a nice strong move to the upside, and that didn't happen. You can still see I have my alert up there at 7,009. So for me right now, this is still a no trade area. I do not want to be going long in this area, and that's just me. I know some people will say, hey, you need to buy any chance you get when Bitcoin goes down. That's not how I play this game. I look to be in an uptrend when I'm going to be playing these things. I want to be up above the 50 moving average on the 4 hour, on the 1 day. Right now we are back up above it on this 1 hour time frame. So I would want to continue to see this hold as support, and that's going to be at 6,159. But what we have to realize is we're still overall in a downtrend right here. We are still making lower highs. You can see lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. All these have been lower highs. This would still be a lower high. So until we get up through that area, I'm not convinced, guys. And that's just where I'm at with Bitcoin right now. I am not convinced in terms of taking a long position. I've still been sitting back right now, patiently waiting, but we still have this trend line as overhead resistance. We have all this chop as overhead resistance. If we throw on our 200 moving average right now, we are basically right at it right now on the 1 hour time frame. What we're going to do, we're going to work back here. We're going to go to the 4 hour time frame next. Still trading below our 200 moving average on the 4 hour. That's at 7,131. So like we said, around that $7,000 range. We are right now having a little bit of resistance pressing down upon us on the 50 moving average on the 4 hour time frame. That's going to be at 6,384. So the trend is down even on the 4 hour time frame. Then if we get into the 1 day, what we're looking at is that death cross taking place there. If we put on our 20 EMA, we're still below that, which is an important level, and then our 40 moving average as well. So as you can see, the trend is still down. So to take a long from this position is a little risky in my opinion. So we did find a little support here. If we close this candle today right where it's at, that would be a bullish engulfing candle, and maybe that'll be enough if it comes on more volume for us to maybe start to get back up above that 6,800 or 7,000. But right now it's still just a risky area. That's what I'm trying to point out to you guys. It's a risky spot to say, you know what, I want to go long here. If we look at some indicators on the 1 day time frame, because it's important, we'll look at our stock. Right now our stock, we did have our downside cross right up here with these little spinning top candles, really tight candles at the top there. We did have our downside cross, had a little bit of continuation to the downside there. Right now we're at 75 and 78. Looks like it's trying to cross back to the upside, but just be aware of that. Next one we'll look at is our relative strength index. RSI is at 45. We are having those nice higher lows coming in there, so that's good. We're trying to get up above about 48, we'll call it, on the RSI. See if we can break up above that. Then we'll look at our MACD on the 1 day time frame. We did have our bullish cross right down in this area here when we had our last bullish engulfing candle. And right now the histogram a little bit more neutral. I would say you can see how we went up, we came back down a little bit, now we're leveling off a little bit. So we have to keep an eye on that as well. But for Bitcoin, like I said, going back to the 1 hour time frame and we zoom in here, we just want to be careful in this spot. Right there you can see we're seeing a little bit of rejection right around that 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame, which we dropped down below on the 27th of March. You can see these long wicks where we reached up and we just didn't have enough to get up above it. So we're going to have to watch that as the day takes place, or as these candles happen. But this would be the area I'd want to see hold, would be that 6,278 right here, that previous resistance that we broke up through. We would want that to become support, set a higher low, and then make that next move up. But for me right now, guys, I'm just sitting back. I'm waiting for a good opportunity, and right now there's just too many things going against Bitcoin. Do I hope Bitcoin gets another massive pump to the upside here and we get up to 7,000? Absolutely. Guys, I root for Bitcoin, but I also am a realist about Bitcoin, and I'm going to play this in terms of trading. And to me right now, this is a dangerous area. That's just what I'm thinking there. So that's Bitcoin, guys. If you get something from that, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Really watch out for those areas. Again, we want to see us break $7,000 would be the key, and we don't really want to go back down below that $5,800 where we did previously find support here, and we want to see more volume. So that's Bitcoin. We're going to get into Litecoin next. We'll move out to the 4-hour time frame for Litecoin. And guys, if you're part of the Litecoin family, let me know down low. If you enjoy me covering Litecoin, smash that like button. So right now we are at $39 for our Litecoin here, and you can see on the 4-hour time frame we're in this rising wedge, getting tight up in here. We had a downside break, but now we've really just been consolidating sideways. The volume is still low, so we're waiting for that next break, whether it be back up to try to back test this rising wedge, or if we'll start breaking down through that $36.35. So if we really zoom in here, what we're looking for is higher lows to start coming in, higher lows and higher highs. So we broke down right here out of our rising wedge pattern, okay, came back up, tried to get in this trend line, and we failed. Came back down, we actually set a higher low from the area we were at around 36.60, came back up, could not set a higher high. So now we're just in this little equilibrium, chopping side to side in a channel between, we'll call it $40 and around 36.45. But still, this is an area with this low volume, with what's going on with Bitcoin. I'd be a little nervous to just say, okay, I'm going to jump in right now, because we could see these lower numbers, guys. If we break down through 36.38, we'd be looking at 34.37 around there, and then it'd be about 32.56. And then to the upside, you can see we have some wicks right in here, but we would need to get up above $39.16 and then break back into this trend line and start trying to make a move to the upside. Now, in the 4-hour here, the moving averages are moving sideways, so they're not going to tell you as much as kind of directionless right now, but we do have this 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame that's swooping down upon us that could act as overhead resistance, and that's going to be at $46.37. But right now we're just really moving sideways. We're waiting for that next move in direction. The next pop of volume is going to tell us a lot. If we're going to come up here and try to challenge that $40 range right up here, all that resistance, or if we're going to start heading back down to those lower levels around 36, 38, we'll call it. Now let's get into a couple indicators on the 4-hour time frame here. We'll take a look at our stock. Stock is overbought right now. We're at 95 and 90. We have not had our bearish cross on that yet. Next one we'll take a look at is our relative strength index, and what I would draw on our relative strength index here is this line right there, and we'll see if we can break to the upside there. If we do, you'll see a nice little trend line break if it comes on some volume, or this is going to act as an overhead ceiling for us, and we're at 54 on the RSI there. So a little bit more strength, and then we'll look at our MACD. MACD, we did get a bullish cross histograms trying to tick to the positive there, but still not a lot of volume, so it's not going to tell you a ton right now. So for Litecoin, guys, it's really just chopping back and forth in an equilibrium here. I say just be patient and really see if we can start breaking up here, trying to get back in this trend line, or if we're going to hold, 36, 38 if we make a downside break. So that's Litecoin, guys, and then we'll move on to Ethereum. Take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum is at $132.88 right now. We're up about 6%, 6.5%. Same deal here. What we're looking at for Ethereum, just really chopping sideways right now on the 4-hour time frame. You can see along this support that we had up here, this was around 127 or so. We would want to hold that, but the candles yet again are getting pretty tight, and we want to continue to see that move to the upside here. We want a nice strong break so we can get up above 142. Then we call it about 147, and then it's going to be at around $170 would be a key point for us. That's going to be that 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. And guys, you know, we lost that over here. That was March 20th, and since then we've been trading below it. So if we really step back and take a look at Ethereum here, we get some of these lines off so we can start drawing some of our own. Let's see here. Just really want to take a pure look at price action with you. All right, so volume, guys, extremely low, as you can tell, right? And then what we're going to draw is a trend line right here. This is the trend line that we need to hold. And some people almost say that we're in a bit of a symmetrical triangle here. If we take a look at this, could even go down into that, and you can see we're getting a bit of the lower highs, higher lows, and we're going to get that squeezing effect. And we have to see if we break to the upside here, if it's going to be a downside break. If we do start breaking down, I'd look at 123, then probably around 110, and then about 104. But with us not having a ton of volume right now, that's where it's suspect. We just are not sure what's going to happen. Is it going to be whale manipulation, where all of a sudden we see a straight shot up challenging that 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame at 170, or is this going to be one of those big nasty trend line breaks, guys? So this is just really an area that I feel as though you need to be careful in, because the price action is really tight. Take a look at this. If you see just a lot of chopping back and forth, moving sideways, back and forth, chopping, and it's like neither direction really wants to give it up. You have the bears pressing down, you have the bulls trying to buy these dips when they're coming in, and now it's just a matter of when are we going to break out and which direction is it going to be. So right now, guys, overall though, the trend has been down, so we have to realize that. And traditionally, if the trend's down, these consolidation patterns will want to break to the downside. But overall, we've talked about this many times, it's cryptocurrency. Anything can happen in this space, guys. Changes by the minute, and it just is what it is. So you have to do the best you can. You have to look at the supply and demand on the charts for things like this and kind of just put the odds in your favor. And for me right now, it's sitting back looking for a good opportunity. I don't feel comfortable jumping into the market right now. So God bless you all. Take care. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You get some from this. I appreciate you all being here with me today. Really watch that volume and watch which direction we break and if it's on volume. Take care, guys.